it's a whole nother flow, right? It's just whole thing where you realize that being ostracized is the caveat, right? It's the caveat. It's the thing that actually allowed you to grow in your own special place, and no longer are you concerned with the affluence, right? The people's decision. And so, this special place where I can tap into the wisdom again, the darkness comprehend the light not, but yet and still the light has an opportunity and the privilege to shine, right? So when I'm thinking about that, and just to go back to your point, when I'm saying that I don't ever want to be in that place of the Moses again, I'm literally speaking of, there was this place where I was this brightness and I can feel that, but people were like, ugh, right? And so be ever mindful that when God had all of his time, the proper time that he had with Moses and giving them the commandments, instruction itself, the time spent in instruction, in correction, brings you to light, brings you to glow, brings you to understanding, because the glow is literally getting to a place that it is mocking the absolute glow that God himself possesses. Right? It is mocking the absolute glow itself that God is possessing. So when people say you're glowing, right? Most of them, when as soon as they say that, it's like this big smile, and it's like, ooh, like, right? The attraction of the light. And so it's like I got to a place where I'm always hooded. I always wear things on my head and all of that. And in this moment, I felt the strain, right? I felt feeling the strain even that much more to cover up, understanding that people won't be able to get their hair done. They won't have outfits. They won't have clothes. They can't get out if they come on, the TikTok and all of that. But again, he's just been training me for this moment, and it's very therapeutic. But at the same time, there's this thing that I have to constantly remind myself, don't hide, right? Because people are like, oh, man, you just keep coming on, and it's all bright but always, right? And I have to understand that that's a place that I understand what it is to look at someone with less talent than you and be like, but they doing better than you, right? So in this place, man, I'm just silking it. I'm just pretty much really smooth and really calm, understanding that I am lit, right? But we all have been given the same opportunities. Never before, let me say this, never before have God given every single person the chance to start this thing over, right? In this lifetime. And so when we go back, we look at the story of Moses. That's what was happening. We buried you in your house. And what was happening, you were marking your door with the precious blood. In that home, there was your participation. The word, the studying, the understanding that I was sanctifying myself, because truly I would be leaving. All right. After the plague, I would be leaving. So I rest in that, man. It's something. Right, I have the Joshua generation because of the fight, literally, and I have the Moses going because I'm called to free my people while they complain and test the Lord. Why doubt? They fell victim to the system, and that's all they were saying. They were like, man, we'd rather go back, right? And what they're saying, they would rather go back to Egypt, getting beat, getting stoned, getting ostracized, but at least they were being fed. At least they were eating. Right now we know they weren't eating. They didn't have any money, so they didn't care what they had. But they were like, slavery was better than this. And it's a mentality, right? And that's why the Spirit of the Lord says, I am the one true vine. I am the true system. Now that your system is failing, I am the true system. Will you lock on to me? Right? And so he gives us this moment to sanctify ourselves in order that we may come out